Hello and welcome to this parent and baby yoga class. So we've got 3 parts to this. We'll do first part as the warm-up. We'll get some interaction with baby as well. Second part, we're going to take some more challenging poses. Always make sure that you feel confident in the poses. Modify if you need to. So if you're new, take modifications and just start to build the strength, and that will get you confidence as well. So let's start with just taking this seated posture. Baby can come in front, onto the lap, wherever you feel confidence really. So we'll take a few breaths. So taking that into a nice long spine. Retract your shoulder blades slightly. Take a breath in through the nose, out through the mouth. Relax the jaw on the way down, and again. So you might have one hand on baby. From there, inhale. And laterally flex, come over to the side. As you release, taking that nice long spine again. Take a breath in, nice and long. As you exhale, round through the lower back, drop down through the upper back, and then lift everything up. We'll get to do this a little bit later, so just starting to warm up through the spine. One more. Keeping that posture all the way through these 3 parts. So from there we're going to come into all fours. So we're going to bring baby down onto the mat or at the side, wherever you feel baby is most happy. So hands under shoulders, knees under hips, and we're getting a little bit more through the breath. So as you exhale through the nose, round in as much as you can, and then down and through. And again. Eye gaze just follows the direction of where the sternum, the chest goes, so it goes down and through. Don't lift your head too much, or you'll start to feel the back of the neck. Let's do 2 more. Right, so come back into posture, and if you need to, move back slightly. I can take a toy from this one. So if you need that interaction with baby, you can take the favourite toy or just use your hand. So we're going to start to take this into a little bit more rotation. So we take an inhale as we lift. Follow the toy if you can, and then we thread under, we thread the needle. And again. Reaching all the way back. 2 more. To feel that lower back, just easing out. Last one. Now this time we're going to stay down. So as we slide through, you might need to walk back. We're going to come down onto the shoulder, and we take this bottom hand that was on the mat. We can take a bind, or you can just stay holding on to baby. As you come up, we'll just change sides. So we're back for this second part. Now it's going to be more challenging. We always want to challenge. So option is always to keep modifying baby down if you need to. Otherwise we're going to stay with some standing postures. So I'm going to pick Teddy up. So baby can face away, which is a really nice thing to do, so they can have a view of everywhere. Now I'm taking my feet wide. As I start this wide squat position, think a nice long spine. The knees are going to draw back, yeah, towards the back of the room so that we get some engagement of your inner thigh, and the arch of the foot is active as well. So you might not be as wide, you might not get down as far, but always make sure that you're in the best posture. Technique, really important on this one. So retract your shoulder blades slightly, and then we're just going to start to move about, and we're going to start to do some lifts and lowers. So a nice squeeze of your inner thigh, the glutes are working as we lift, and then down. Now it's up to you if you want to slow down, keeping that technique, and you're going to start to feel the legs engage as well. So depending how heavy baby is, you might have a real challenge on this one. Yeah, keep the work in the glutes, in the back of the body. You might need a rest, and if you want a little rest and you want to take it more challenging, take it down here. You might want to go with some pulses at the bottom and then go with a lift again. You might stay at the top and do some little pulses at the top and then go down. Always change it around. Don't get bored with anything. Always checking the knees and make sure the knees are pushing back. We're going to do 3 more. Well done. Now I'm going to stay down. Yeah. Option, stay here, or we're going to start to lift the heel. So we lift, add some little squats in that position, or stay and hold. Let's release that heel. Change sides. A really good ankle strengthener as well. That centre of gravity you're working on. And then as you release the heel, now if you're up for a challenge and you feel confident, we lift one heel and we lift the other. Wow. 3, 2, 1. There we go. Well done. And then just start to lift yourself up. And we're going to walk those feet together. And we're going to come down into the mat to work through obliques, side plank, and we'll take it the other way as well. So let's come down. Think technique on this one. It doesn't matter how far we lift, but engaging those right muscle groups. So maybe comes to the side. Now I'm going to come down onto my forearm. Not going to lift myself up too high at this beginning, but just going to start to bring pelvis in line. And if you can start to lift these bottom waist off the mat. Again, we've got a nice long spine with it. And this hand goes for balance rather than support. So he's just there for a little balance, stop me going forwards and back. So I'll lift one leg. As I lift the bottom leg, you might even just stay there. Now without pressing into the hand, if you can start to lift your torso, there we go, hold. Yeah, you can feel these obliques working at the top. Feet are flexed like we would do standing. It doesn't look much, but it's a real strong one. We're keeping the head in line with the spine. Hold it for 4, 3, 2, 1, and then slowly release down. Now we've worked the top. We're going to change the position of the bottom arm. Going to come up into side plank. Option to bring forearm towards the camera or out to the side. Let's take this modified first of all. I stay on the bottom knee. I resist the gravity. I press down and I lift. Yeah, so again, just check your head in line. And we can start to advance this one as well. Hold it. Now, rather than letting the pelvis drop down, see if you can take some little pulses and head up towards the ceiling. 8, 7, 8. Hold at the top. And then release. All good. We're going to change sides. So, running through the third part, we're going to come down to the mat, to the floor. I'm going to face forward you this time, so you can see my feet. You're going to bring baby over towards your right side. You'll be on the ankle, you know, wherever you just feel comfortable. So we're going to start to feel some more length in the lower back. We get a little twist going as well. So I'm going to bring my left foot towards my inner thigh. So without using the hands, I'm going to draw this left side of my pelvis back. By doing that, you'll get that stretch a little bit quicker. And then I turn towards this space that I've got here, away from baby. Fingertips, nice long spine, and just start to take a small hip flexion there. And I can start to feel some length in the lower back through the hip flexion. Now, the key to this is not to round through the upper back. Start to lead with your sternum, with your chest, and not just turning the head. This is going to get challenging, so it feels as though you're not going to go very far, but that might just be your limit as you explore this pose a little bit more. So we start to lift, and I start to walk the hands over the thigh towards baby. That's our goal. So I keep lifting and I keep twisting. Now there's a strong pull happening through this right side. So I want to pull that side back, keep the length in the spine. You might feel the length in the lower back, you might not. You know, if you're fairly flexible there, that's okay. Avoid lifting up, so you want to still work through hip flexion. Keep twisting. Don't worry if you can't breathe into thoracic. Try and bring the breath in towards the ribs. There we go. And then slowly. Oh, that just feels so good. So before we do the other side, you can actually take a forward fold from this position without moving this left side of the pelvis. It's not very far before you start to feel that stretch. Any knee problems, just sweep that foot out to the side. Just slowly relax the shoulders on the way down. And get that interaction with your baby. We're going to walk back and then we'll change side. Bring baby over to the other side. Just stay where he or she is. So I'm going to bring that side of the pelvis back without using the hands. That way you start to use the muscle group first of all. And it gets me to turn, yeah, facing baby. Hands go wide, lift the chest. I lead with the chest and not round through the upper back, so tip forward there. And then instead of just starting to turn the head, I lead with the chest. Now it's not far before I sort of stop on this one. It is a real challenge to keep hip flexion, spine lengthens. And again, that strong pull through the side of the waist on this left side is pulling us round. And with the hip flexion, you've got the length in the lower back. you might find that you can just go a little bit further. We're going to walk back with the hands, and without moving the pelvis, take that forward fold. If you can, always remember to breathe out when you go into the fold. It relaxes you more. And as I come up from that position, we're going to come down into the mat. There's so many different variations. Always do what feels right. So we can keep baby to the side. You can also have them onto your tummy. We'll just sweep the knees over to one side.